A sole survivor after that Boeing 787 with 230 passengers, 12 crew members on board crashed just after takeoff. It happened in the city of Ahmedabad, the plane reaching a height of 600 feet, then seeming to slowly float back down into a residential area where it then crashed. With us now is retired U.S. Navy Captain Armin Kurdian to break this down. Armin, good to see you under, yet again, unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah.
Boeing has not had the best of time here in recent memory, but this is a first for this type of plane.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good safety record on this aircraft. It's a very modernized, and it's a generational leap in terms of the types of material that are used, composites and additive manufacturing. It's lighter. It uses much less gas. The engines are more efficient. So it's a great aircraft. It's had a great safety record. What happened here was obviously something very, very catastrophic. You see that video. It's coming in under control. It seems like the pilot is trying to fight to keep that airplane airborne, but it doesn't seem like the engines were giving him enough or any power.
Yeah, what can we glean from what we know? Clearly, the plume of smoke. I mean, we know that it barely had picked up any altitude here. It was just about a minute following takeoff. The pilot at least knew something was wrong, because we do know that pilot did issue Mayday, had thousands of flight hours, so this was an experienced pilot. This was a long-haul flight out to London, to Gatwick Airport. Based on what we know so far, and obviously we're not going to speculate here, but clearly there was something wrong with this plane that the pilot knew this was not going to be good.
Yeah, he was in a landing configuration. I'm sure he could see that residential neighborhood in front of him and knew what was about to happen. But, you know, the aircraft wasn't falling out of the sky. It wasn't tumbling. It wasn't wing over. So it seems to me like the pilot was making absolutely every effort, fighting until the very last minute, probably to either relight the engines, get them started, try to do something, or try to at least guide the airplane into a less populated area if that was even possible. But we've seen aircraft, you know, lose both engines and, you know, ultimately come down. Plane like this can fly on just one engine, and it can climb out. So the fact that he came down means that he just didn't have nearly enough power, or any.
How rare is it to lose both the engines?
Exceedingly rare. You see, Sully Sullenberger coming into the Hudson lost both engines due to dual bird ingestion. We've seen other incidents, but it's exceedingly rare. You know, either you have some kind of fuel issue, or, like you say, both birds, you know, clobber the engine. It happened to an E-2 Hawkeye back in, I think, 2000 or 2001, coming out of Point Mugu. Sucked in a bunch of seagulls coming off a takeoff. There's nothing you can do about it except bring the airplane down in a controlled manner, and everyone survived in that case, and everyone survived from Sully's accident. So you can see it is very survivable, because the airplane does maintain control. You can control the airplane. You just have to glide it down.
Yeah.
But when you come into a bunch of buildings,
it didn't seem, I mean, it looked like a populated area, given the injuries and the fatalities on the ground. So if maybe there had been a field, potentially this could have been a place where they would have landed. I mean, based on what you see from the plane there, it seems as though the landing gear's still out. I don't know if that was just because it had just taken off, or if because it was making an attempt there to land. Could you glean anything from that video?
yeah, usually when you have a positive rate of climb and you've taken off and everything's good, you're gonna raise the landing gear. It's possible that he may have realized that they had some kind of issue and decided to keep the landing gear down in case he needed to come back down again, or he had raised it up and was able to get it back down again in a manner of speaking. When you lose hydraulics, sometimes it's very hard to get it down, but the fact that they were down, because blowing that gear down or winding it down can take a very long amount of time. I doubt they would have had time to do that. So either it stayed down, or we had enough control and power to get that gear down and try to make some effort at salvaging the aircraft.
Yeah. Armin, really quickly before we go, clearly for Sully Sullenberger, the miracle on the Hudson, if you will, a different scenario, landing in a body of water, and successfully so. We're learning that there's at least one survivor potentially sitting in row 11 near an exit, an emergency exit. What do you make of that?
Honestly, it's an act of God. You know, you see these kinds of crashes where maybe 4 people in the back of the aircraft survive, or 1 person up in the front of the aircraft survives. It just depends on how the aircraft impacts. You know, where the wing meets the aircraft is a very structurally reinforced area. So it's possible, you know, if he was able to survive that impact, that brutal, violent impact, just being in that part of the airplane, just by a stroke of luck or a fluke, he survived.
Unbelievable stuff. We do know the NTSB is sending a team to India to help there with the investigation. Armin, I'm sure we'll get more information in the days to come, and we'd love to have you help us break that down as we continue to cover the story. Thank you.